What's up, everybody? Clint here. I wanted to give a little background on the vitamin B12 conversation that we're having right now. So, we're going to do this. There I am. Okay, best sources of vitamin B12 for any diet. First, let's go over why it's important. Maintaining healthy nerve and brain cells, boosting focus and cognitive function, assist in making healthy red blood cells and preventing anemia, used to facilitate energy production, protects eye health, helps in duplicating and regulating DNA, may help prevent congenital abnormalities, those present at birth. Signs and symptoms of B12 deficiency: anemia, poor cognitive performance, depression, memory loss, fatigue, headaches, mood change, trouble concentrating, weakness and neurological problems, increased risk for neural tube defects, defects in the development of brain, spine, or spinal cord, and cognitive delays as a child, not displaying the thinking and memory abilities expected for their age. That was me as a baby. Apparently, I was vitamin B12 deficient. I didn't realize till just now. Okay, animal-based sources. I'll tell you why they say this. Vitamin B12 is primarily found in animal foods and animal products. Good sources of vitamin B12 include red meat, 4 ounces of 80% lean ground beef provides 2.42 micrograms of vitamin B12, which is just over 100% of your recommended daily allowance. That's it. Beef is also a good source of other nutrients like folate, niacin, iron, zinc, potassium, and protein. Don't listen. However, red meats can be high in saturated fat. The American Heart Association recommends that people who are trying to lower their cholesterol make saturated fat less than 6% of their daily caloric intake. We're not really sure that's true. Fish are very good for vitamin B12. Half of a fillet of salmon provides 198 grams. Provides 6.3 micrograms of vitamin B12, which is 260% of your daily needs. Eggs. They provide, I'll just read it, 20% of your RDA. Dairy products, shellfish, organ meat. Animal organ meats like liver and kidney are loaded with nutrients, even if they are less popular than they used to be, because vitamin B12 can be stored in the liver. These meats usually are the most vitamin B12 rich food. 3 ounces of beef liver provides 60 micrograms of vitamin B12, which is about 2,500% of your daily recommended intake. In addition, 3 ounces of liver also provides 25 grams of muscle-packing protein, 5 milligrams of iron, 422 milligrams of phosphorus, 299 milligrams of potassium, 215 micrograms of folate, and 26,900 international units of vitamin A. Fancy. And 42 international units of vitamin D. We got international at the end there. I'm not sure. So anyway, plant-based B12 sources. Vitamin B12 isn't naturally found in plant-based foods. However, some foods are fortified with vitamin B12 to meet people's nutritional needs, especially those following vegetarian or vegan diets. Here are some non-animal foods: nutritional yeast, non-dairy milk, fortified grains, fortified grains like your cereal, your breakfast, your sugary breakfast cereal. Summary: vitamin B12 is an important nutrient for health and well-being. It helps with energy, red blood cells, nerve cells, and DNA production. Without adequate vitamin B12 in your diet, you could develop a deficiency and experience symptoms like fatigue, weakness, headaches, poor concentration. Vitamin B12 is naturally found in animal foods like red meat, liver, eggs, fish, and dairy products. It is also found in fortified plant foods like nutritional yeast and fortified non-dairy grains. All right, now we're going to go to this other one, comparative bioavailability and utilization of particular forms of B12 supplements with potential to mitigate vitamin B12 related genetic polymorphisms. Why are we talking about swingers? Doesn't make any sense. All right, results. Now we'll skip results. I've tried to read it before. Okay, conclusions. So I'm going to simplify this for you. There are 3 forms of natural vitamin B12. They have acronyms for them. One starts with an M, one starts with an O, one starts with an A. There's one form of synthetic vitamin B12. That one starts with a C. Okay? Too many letters and words that I can't read. So we're going to just go with the A, M, O, and C is the fake one. Supplementing with any of the nature bioidentical forms. Let me read that over. Supplementing with any of the nature bioidentical forms of B12, the M1, O, and A, is preferred instead of the use of the C1, owing to their superior bioavailability and safety. For the majority of the population, all B12 forms may likely have similar bioavailabilities and physiological effects. May. But it also just said that the other ones were safer and more bioavailable, and then they're probably all the same, and they have the fake one lumped in. For the majority of the population, okay, I already read it. Thus, it makes sense to employ the least expensive form of B12, such as MECBL, which is a natural form. Individuals with particular single nucleotide polymorphisms, SNPs, affecting B12 assimilation may raise their B12 status more efficiently with one or more particular form of vitamin B12. However, because those types of SNPs are not currently reported in commercial tests. Wait, what? What? Oh, I know. The commercial people are just trying to get the synthetic one, passed for whatever, so they're not paying to run tests on the natural occurring B12. The government doesn't care what naturally occurring B12 does. Like, doesn't make any sense. However, because those types of SNPs are not currently reported in commercial tests, individuals may require either a trial and error approach by supplementing with one particular form of B12 at a time, or they might simply use a supplement with a combination of all 3 naturally occurring forms of B12 that are commercially available for better chance of achieving faster clinical results. That approach may or may not offset genetic polymorphisms involving B12 metabolism and related pathways. The synthetic form of vitamin B12 has long been available in the form of the C1, both for oral and injectable use. Subsequently, the naturally occurring forms of B12, the M1, the A1, the O1, have been made available, and they seem conceptually preferable because they are bioidentical to the B12 forms occurring in human physiology and animal foods. In contrast, the C1, a synthetic B12 compound used for food fortification and in some supplements, occurs only in trace amounts in human tissues as a result of cyanide intake from smoking and other sources. However, C1 continues to be used for food fortifications and in some supplements, probably owing to its low cost and heat stability. This literature review attempts to answer the following question: which forms of vitamin B12 commercially available today is the best to use for particular clinical cases, and should genetic polymorphisms involve B12 with B12 related pathways be guiding the selection for particular use. But then they're like, we didn't really study each individual B12, and we're like, we're sure. Anyway, all you gotta do is eat meat, people, and you can get a lot of B12, probably in the 3 forms that it shows up. There's not really, as long as you eat eggs and meat, any type of meat, pork, chicken, any of those have B12 vitamins in it. You just can't get it from plant forms. So if you're eating enough animal, you should be fine with B12. Here's the other thing. Vitamin B12 is water soluble, so you're just going to pee extra out. So if you have the liver with the 2,500% of your daily value, it's not an issue. You're just going to pee it out. It's like vitamin C. You're not going to overload or overdose or anything like that. So if you ask me, don't supplement. Find foods, natural foods that have the vitamins and minerals that you need in it, because that's going to be the most bioavailable. Your body's going to get the most out of it. And we know there's no side effects to eating regular food. I'll just say that. I won't say meat. I'll just say regular food. All right, people, back to the bodybuilder later. I can't get out of